This is the biggest Pokemon tournament ever. Maybe. But it's definitely the biggest AI Pokemon tournament, featuring major characters from the Pokemon games. There are 256 trainers in all, and only one can be crowned the winner of the World Tour. So, what is this? Well, I used 2 instances of an identical AI bot to battle Pokemon teams against each other on Pokemon Showdown. In this tournament, we pretty much have every major NPC from the main series Pokemon games, plus a few side games from the mid-2000s. We're talking trainers from Kanto and Johto, they're just too hard to separate, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Carlos, Alola, Galar, Hisui, Paldea, Orr, the home of Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, and Poketopia from Battle Revolution. We've got every champion, every gym leader, every Elite Four, friends, rivals, villains, and yes, some trainers pictured don't quite fit their categories. I'll explain that a bit later. But of course, there are some trainers that are missing, most notably the Frontier Brains and other battle facility heads. A lot of these trainers are unfairly overpowered for this kind of tournament, so they won't be included this time. But fear not, they will be in a tournament one day down the track. The battles for this tournament will be full single battles, so 6 on 6 in a single elimination bracket. Yep, 256 battles. I'm insane. This means that every trainer needs a full team of 6. How did I pick these teams? Well, each trainer has in-game Pokemon, abilities, movesets, and items. So if they have 6 in-game Pokemon, it's easily done. If they have less than 6 Pokemon, I've built up their team based on things like type specialty and Pokemon native to where these NPCs are from. As well, some also gain Pokemon that they had in the anime. Trainers like this, we're talking everyone in Carlos, Hisui trainers, and a few recent gym leaders. For example, let's look at Calabar. Calabar? I don't know how to say it, but anyway, the plant head granny from Legends Arceus. She has no canon Pokemon of her own, but she is Warden to Ursaluna. So I started her team with Ursaluna and based the other 5 around Ursaluna's ground and normal typing, preferencing Pokemon found nearby in the Crimson Mirelands in the first instance. For the characters from Colosseum and XD, I've made a few more active changes. This was because the physical special split came in Gen 4 and these games were in Generation 3, meaning that some of the moves they had no longer make sense. As well, I've minimised the number of legendaries in the tournament to just 2 trainers. These trainers having a legend as their ace in-game, with a base stat total less than 600. These 2 trainers are Gladion with his Silvally and Mustard with Urshifu. And for each team, there is only one gimmick available, Terastallization. I've fully embraced Gen 9, and Terra is the only gimmick that can feasibly be used by any Pokemon from a team of 6. Equal access to Terra is a big reason for its inclusion. As always, Terastallization is limited to 1 Pokemon per team, and for this tournament, it is locked to the final Pokemon standing on each team. So, it's a single elimination bracket like I mentioned before, which means with 256 trainers, there are 8 rounds in total. Yep, 8 wins gets a trainer the championship. But to make the tournament easy to watch, I've broken it down into 16 blocks of 16 trainers. The winner of each block qualifies for the finals. Within these 16 blocks, there's a balance of trainer classes to make sure that each block is evenly distributed in terms of strength. Each of these 16 groups are headlined by 1 champion. If you missed my champion series, I brought together 16 champions and simulated a tournament to rank them from 1 to 16. So, they're split among the blocks as the top 16 seeds. These champs are all coloured gold. If the champs all win their blocks, the final 16 will look something like this. But in their way, there are 240 other trainers hoping to take them out. The next set of seeds with a silver background are the major villains. I really should say major bosses because Penny and the hidden oak boss from Red, Blue and Yellow really aren't villains. Anyway, one of these 16 major bosses was randomly placed in each block. The final set of seeds are Elite Four trainers, coloured bronze. Now there were 31 Elite Four trainers, and I needed 32, so I promoted Raihan because Galar has no Elite Four and he's widely recognised as the region's strongest trainer after Leon. So, 2 Elite Four were randomly sorted into each block. And for the rest, the other 192 trainers, they're all coloured blue, and are again split by trainer class. After taking out Raihan, there were a total of 80 gym leaders, trial captains and kahunas combined. That's very neat. 5 times 16. so 5 random leaders, kahunas, or trial captains are in each block. Now, this is the perfect time to mention that there are 2 Larrys in the tournament, the only duplicate trainer, one for his flying type Elite 4 squad, and one for his normies from the gym. Others in a similar position like Koga, who are both gym leaders in Elite 4, only have one team because their specialization didn't change. So Lucky Larry gets 2 bites at the apple. Next up, we have a total of 32 trainers from Colosseum, XD, and Battle Revolution combined. 2 of these trainers are in each block. I grouped an additional 32 trainers together as friends or rivals. Again, 2 from this set are in each block. There are also 16 Hisuians, 1 in each block, and 16 minor villains or antagonists. Again, 1 in each block. And the final group of 16 trainers to sort out shows how I kinda had to bend definitions. In this last group, 14 are Paldeans, the 8 Academy staff, the 5 Team Star bosses, and Arven. For the last 2, I squeezed in Annabelle and Morimoto. These 2 didn't fit anywhere particularly well, and well, you've got to do what you've got to do to make it work. So they join the Paldeans, and 1 from this group of 16 is in each block. And that's the draw complete. Except that every blue character was then randomized within their block to determine the final draw. Okay, we're almost there. Music. If you've seen my videos before, you know I love to showcase Pokemon music. So each battle will have a theme behind it. These tracks were determined before the draw was finalized and are no indication of a match's outcome. Any connection between a character and the track is coincidence unless otherwise stated. So in round 1, we have a combination of minor boss music, gym leaders, kahunas, totems. In round 2, we have character-specific tracks like rival music. By round 3, there are only 2 battles left in each block. One battle will feature a random Elite 4 theme, the other the theme of the major boss or villain in that block, regardless of whether they reach round 3. For round 4, or the block final, the champion theme of the champ in that block, again regardless of whether they make round 4. And once we get to the final 16, that's a long way away, round 5 features legendary Pokemon battle music, the quarterfinals, battle facility music, semis, back to legendaries, my 2 favorite legendary battle tracks, and the finals, well, let's just say it fits nicely. This tournament is too big for one video, so I'm splitting the battles into 18 videos in total, 1 for each of the 16 blocks, and 2 for the finals. I wish I had the time to commentate them all, that's always a lot of fun, but I don't want the tournament to drag on too long. Instead, right at the end of the tournament, I'll do a recap video similar to the champs, where I'll commentate the highlights. With all that said, the release schedule will be 2 videos per week for the blocks, releasing on Wednesday and Saturday mornings my time, which is Tuesday and Friday evenings in Europe and the Americas. So the blocks will be done after 8 weeks, with just the finals to follow. And don't worry, before the finals, none of the block videos will spoil any previous block until right at the end of the video. Before I finish up the preview by showing you all the full draw, if you would like to predict the winner of this tournament, join my Discord. From there, I've linked a challenge bracket where you can predict the winner of every match in the tournament. Whoever submits the closest prediction to the actual result will be given the chance to pick a future tournament for this channel. But you need to submit your prediction before the battles begin, which is this Wednesday, June 21st at 7 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. And even if you don't want to predict, join the community on Discord, follow me on Twitter, I tweet very occasionally, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of this insanely large tournament. While you're at it, share with your PokePals because I'll bet they've always wanted to see this type of tournament. And now, without further ado, the full bracket of the World Tour. And there you have it. 256 battles to come, but who do you think will be crowned the champion? Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time when the World Tour begins.